Isn't it crazy how pop culture changes so quickly? One day, a movie like Barbie is dominating the box office, and months later, we have the worst Memorial Day weekend box office results in decades. This got me thinking about the greatness that was WCW. They quickly became competition with WWE by forming the NWO, creating the Crow version of Sting, and featuring A-list celebrities on their shows. Their momentum was sky high, but much like the current movie box office, it diminishes so quickly to the point where it does not even exist as a company anymore. The lasting legacy of WCW is pretty much just a Bash at the Beach tank top you could get on WWEshop.com. But could that change? Is WCW still a valuable enough brand to possibly repackage and repair? Let's look at the ways it could happen. I'm Ace from Shockwave Sports, and this is how WCW could return. Vice just dropped the first episode of their new series, Who Killed WCW? Kinda a spin-off of their very successful Dark Side of the Ring series, being produced by The Rock. More on that later. But it's already gained a lot of interest from fans, and now there are reports WWE have filed a new trademark related to the name WCW back on June 4th, so very, very recently they did this. But why now? Why is there all of a sudden WCW nostalgia? Well, socially, the 90s nostalgia boom is in full swing. The 2010s had the 80s nostalgia boom with Stranger Things, Star Wars movies, and pretty much any other 80s property they can slap a price tag on. So it was inevitable Hollywood and everyone else was going to tackle the 90s. We now have content like that 90s show, the new Scream movies, Michael Jordan's Last Dance documentary, and much more. WCW was a huge part of the 90s. You didn't have to be a wrestling fan to know what an NWO t-shirt was. They were pop culture icons. Dude, Dennis Rodman was on a championship-winning Chicago Bulls team, and he missed a playoff practice to hang out with the NWO. WCW was so cool at this time. So yeah, if WWE is trying to revive it, now is the time to do it with everyone feeling all nostalgic. But what would they even do for the product? Well, you already have the son of a WCW legend as the current champion and face of your company. I am sure Cody Rhodes would be down to do anything that has to do with WCW continuing. It would keep his father's legacy relevant. It'd be a very natural event to occur in kayfabe currently with Cody as champion. But what exactly can they do with it? For example, in 2005, WWE produced a pay-per-view called ECW One Night Stand, which at first, a story for another time, was just a reunion show for the old brand. They could do something like that for WCW, but it's 2024 at the time of this recording, and a lot of their top stars are really old. Sting just retired, guys like Kevin Nash has been long retired, and I really hope Ric Flair is now retired. How about this? Could a weekly show come back? Do we want Nitro to return or a similar show to the WWE version of ECW? Honestly, I don't think we need that either. There is already enough pro wrestling shows on national TV. I don't think it would get much traction, and it would just make the brand very bland, similar to what happened to ECW. But let me try something. Here is my personal pitch on how to bring the WCW branding back. I think it's perfect. Right now, I am loving the Triple H era, but the past 2 years, WWE has not had a pay-per-view in the month of December, and I really think it affects the product. 2 years in a row around that time, in my opinion, have been the most boring weeks of wrestling. Does talent deserve a little break during the holiday season? Of course they do, and I am happy they get to spend a little more time with their families. But from a content standpoint, it makes the shows not worth watching when nothing feels like is getting built up. My solution is to bring back Starcade, which was WCW's version of WrestleMania. It has been reported that TKO, the company that now owns WWE, and where The Rock is on the board, see, I told you more on him later, kinda. But TKO wants to have more WrestleMania-like events throughout the year, and we already see changes being made with SummerSlam becoming a 2-night event in 2026. So, Starcade would be a great addition. You already have its legacy of being a huge show, so it would already get that hype it deserves, and it could feel like a big grand finale to the year. Now, I still want WWE wrestlers to spend time with their families during the holidays, so why don't we just tape the show? I know that is a scary word in wrestling now, but give it the Avengers Endgame marketing and make spoilers a big thing you want to avoid online. It worked for Marvel, so why couldn't it also work for WWE? Also, a lot of fans, including myself, have a lot of free time during the holidays. We're just chilling at our parents' house, not doing much. So might as well give us something to watch, and it could become a new Christmas tradition, much like the NBA has with their Christmas games. And now this new NFL Netflix deal is pretty much guaranteeing a Christmas game every year. So obviously, they bring in great views. This is how you can make WCW cool again. Not for a cheap pop once a year with a legend, but using its legacy and branding to elevate the present and future stars of wrestling. Thank you all for joining me into this deep dive. I had a lot of fun talking about some possibilities WWE can do. Let me know what you would like to see WWE do with the WCW branding moving forward, and check out our WWE 2K series on the channel. It is the #1 destination for your creative wrestler. Remember to like the video and subscribe to Shockwave Sports for more wrestling content.